Good morning, everybody, or good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where you are on Earth. My name is Rick Reinhardt, and I have the privilege and honor to serve as Executive Director for SCAA, and I want to welcome you all to our annual membership meeting. You should see in front of you a title slide that reflects that. I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to try and get done today here and sort of the ground rules for participation. First of all, this meeting and webinar are really designed to look retrospectively at where we've been for the last year and a half. We have a year that is defined both by our fiscal activities, which starts in October and ends in September, and then of course by a big calendar of events. So lots of things grouped around April with the Expo, but we also have activities like barista camps and the Roasters Guild Retreat and Century Summit, et cetera, that define parts of our year. So when we look back at the year, we tend to look backwards really from September back to the prior 18 months or so. So today we're going to take a look at that. We're going to look backwards in time to see how we've performed against our objectives as an organization. We want to give you an opportunity to ask questions, and the way that will work is you'll note a question window, and you can type questions into that question box as we go. They'll be sorted by staff, and at the end of the presentation, we'll do our best to answer any questions that were forwarded into the question box. You'll note that the presenters are able to access the microphones, but attendees are not. We would ask that you keep your questions into the question box so that we can answer them effectively. I'm joined today by a number of SCAA board members and officers, but in particular I'd like to welcome and acknowledge SCAA President Ben Pitts and SCAA Vice President Heather Perry, and they'll be joining us today throughout the presentation. From here, it's my pleasure to turn this presentation over to Mr. Ben Pitts, President of the SCAA Board of Directors.
Thank you very much, Rick, and thank you, Julie Hausch and Lily Kubota, for helping us get ready for this membership meeting today. And thank you to everyone who is joining us, either live or during a recorded playback of this meeting. It's great to have you here. Let's start by discussing the mission and vision of the SCAA, and we've got a slide up now that you can see. Our mission, if you don't know it already, is to recognize, develop, and promote specialty coffee. And we fulfill our mission through our vision of being the recognized authority, standard setter, and the professional development organization that supports a vibrant specialty coffee community. The update that we have for you today truly speaks to our mission and vision. And as we progress through this meeting and the remainder of the content, the slides that we have, we'll show you some financial highlights. We'll show you what's been going on in education, membership, research, and the other resources that the association and its membership has developed. And what you will see is that we have made great strides, and we continue to make great strides as an association that has really turned this mission and vision, these mission and vision words, into reality, and really has brought us to where we are today, which is a great launching pad for the future as we are early in calendar 2017. I want to start next by introducing our board of directors. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve the association as board president over the past year. And if we could flip to the next slide, the board slide. Hopefully the slides aren't frozen. There we go. You can see the names of our board of directors as well as their various positions. But I want to recognize them one by one, so bear with me as I recognize them. Heather Perry is our Vice President, and you'll hear from Heather in just a few minutes. Second Vice President, Tracy Ging. Guy Burdett is our Secretary Treasurer. The immediate past president is Tracy Allen. Rick Reinhardt, as the executive director or chief executive of the association, is a board member as well. So that is the executive team. And then we have as directors Colleen Anunu, Juan Luis Barrios, Aida Batley, Skip Finley, Andrew Hetzel, Chad Trawick, Trevor Corlett, and Andrew Linneman. And you can note on the slide that you can go to the website if you want more information on your board of directors. Again, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with this team. Many on this board will be moving forward and succeeding to the board of the Unified Association, the Specialty Coffee Board, with the inaugural meeting taking place next week. All right, let's move ahead. Let's look at the SCAA's revenue and how we get our funding to deliver services and value back to the membership. First of all, our expo event that takes place every year and will be in Seattle. Once again, we're returning to Seattle in April of 2017. The expo event generates the largest amount of revenue for the association each year. Secondly, our education and professional development programs come in second from a revenue ranking standpoint, and then in third place from a revenue generation standpoint, the dues that we get from our membership, which we appreciate very, very much. Growth of the organization has really been spectacular. Those of you who run a business or involved in a business, particularly a mature business, know how challenging it is sometimes to generate growth, much less double-digit revenue growth, which is what the SCAA has been able to enjoy under the leadership of Rick and his team. In 2015, and I'll show you some more numbers in a minute, but in 2015 the revenue increase was 12% over the previous year, and in 2016 we have unaudited numbers, so we won't be showing you the full financials for 2016 yet, but unaudited, our revenue growth being right at $8 million in fiscal year 2016 was a 14% increase over the previous year. So the association continues to enjoy double-digit revenue growth, and we would not be able to do that without the member support that we enjoy from you. We're in a great industry. We're in a growth industry in specialty coffee. The strategy is working, and the execution by the staff has been phenomenal. So I want to take this opportunity to thank the staff and thank the board and thank the membership for growing the organization and growing its reach and its membership the way that it has been able to do. So hopefully that will continue. Well, let's take a look at some of the financial highlights, just a quick overview. And if you would like, we can go to the next slide, please. All right, you should see now on your screen, if you're following along, financial highlights. And if you want full financial documents, you can request those at member@scaa.coffee. Member@scaa.coffee or .org will work as well. I'm happy to report to you today that the SCAA enjoys a strong financial position with continuing growth in revenue, as you've heard, particularly in the increase in revenue of the Expo event, as well as membership dues, and the net assets, so the bottom line of the organization, is growing too. And most importantly, we are growing our membership, and you'll see some statistics on that in just a few minutes. Again, as I said, 2016, we're awaiting final results of our audit. The 2016 financials will be posted as they become available. But the revenue growth in 16 over 2015 was 14%. 2015 over 2014 was 12%. So today the revenue of the SCAA is right at $8 million. You can see in 2015 the revenue was $7 million, and in 2014 it was roughly $6.3 million. In both of those years we posted an increase or if we were a for-profit business, a profit of $171,000 in 2015, and then in 2014, $201,000. So that is an increase to the net assets of the organization. And so as we stand here today, we have a cumulative positive net asset of the organization, or net assets, of $320,000. And those of you that have been in the association and around for more than 5 years, you understand from where we've come. So again, congratulations to everyone who's been involved with the turnaround in the financial picture and position of the SCAA. Next, I would like to formally introduce Heather Perry. She is the owner of Clatch Coffee and the Vice President of SCAA, and I'd like to turn it over to Heather for some additional content. Take it away, Heather.
Thank you. So if we can move on to the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about membership. Obviously, we are a membership organization, and the great thing is our membership is growing through all segments. Excuse me, I'm sorry. As you can see, our membership in the past 2 years has grown by 200 company members. Our Barista Guild membership has grown by 100 members. Our Roaster Guild membership, they've done a great job there with launching new events and growing their membership as well. Ben talked a little bit about the growth revenue, and we also see that in our company members, which is fantastic. Not listed on here, we also have our Coffee Technicians Guild that launched this last year, and that has about 50 members. And we're still in the process of launching our Producers Guild, which we're super excited about serving that segment of our membership as well. So our membership continues to grow, and we continue to want you guys to be involved. This is a membership organization, and it's to serve the members. And the next slide. Some of the ways that we serve the members is through events. Our events have been a really key part of the organization, and Ben talked a little bit about how important the expo is to the overall revenue picture. And that's obviously a huge part of how we serve the members through the education and the information that takes place at that event. But we've really done a great job in the last 2 years. Our guilds have really hit the ground running and created a ton of new events to help serve the members. We've continued to have our symposium, as well as our Roasters Guild retreats. I mentioned the Coffee Technicians Guild. They had their first summit a few months ago. Our barista camps have continued to expand and hit new parts of the country. The Barista Guild also launched a new program called Bloom, which we had our second one. I think it was based in Chicago this previous year. We had the Sensory Summit put on by the Roasters Guild, and that we'll be having our second Sensory Summit in another week or two. We've continued to have competitions, origin trips, not just for our Roaster Guild members, but also Barista Guild members, and then our member-driven events as well. Our education is obviously an enormous part of what we do, and Ben talked about it being the second largest revenue piece, and we continue to serve our membership through offering increased education. We increased the amount of barista certificates up 662 from 2013 in the level 1, and our level 2 up as well. A lot of that is served through our camps. Same with our roaster certificates. Certificate, and so we've got 50 level 1 coffee buyer certificates issued, and also new coffee tasters certificates, and already over 240 level 1 coffee taster certificates and 63 level 2. We kind of did a little bit of a relaunch on that golden cup technician certificate, and you can see a huge increase there from 2013 where we had 109 to 692 now, which is incredibly exciting. And then something that's really close to my heart, the lead instructor credentials. I just think it's such a big program. We've really worked hard on the education front to not just make sure we're out there offering education, but to make sure we're out there offering really top-notch education, that we're serving the members with an education that is as good as they can get anywhere else, if not better. And our staff and our volunteers have done such an amazing job, and the increase that you've seen, all of the certificates and the lead instructor really are a huge credit to their work. And it's not just the classes. If you're looking for education, it's not just the classes and the certificates, but we've also got a ton of amazing resources online. If you haven't been to the online and been to the resources section, we've got tons of incredible information there. The Specialty Coffee Chronicle is now online, so you can pull that up and see all of the amazing articles that we have there that really cover the entire spectrum of the industry. Also, research and reports. We've got the gender equality, the water security in the coffee lands and coffee in a changing climate. We've also got some the retail sentiment index. We've got the Roasters Guild research paper. We've got the Barista Pay research paper as well. So we've really done a great job in the past couple of years of expanding the amount of research that we're doing and making that research available to our members. So if that's not something that you're currently taking advantage of, it's most of the research that we have is at no cost to our members. So I highly recommend you go on and get those now. There's a ton of incredible information on there that, again, applies to all segments of the industry. And then our online community has continued to expand as well. One of the things that you may have seen if you've been to a show or one of our events is our membership is young. And so a big part of how we interact with them is online. And so our online community has continued to expand. And the organization has really tried to increase its presence online to react to that community and to interact with that community and be part of that community. So we've got you'll see our presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and YouTube. A 268% increase in activity and followers since September of 2013. So again, if you've been to any events, you've seen that the membership is getting younger, and this is where a ton of the interaction that's happening is taking place. So it's really important to make sure that we're active and involved within that community, and these are some of the ways that we're doing it. And I'll hand it back over to Ben.
Thank you, Heather. Sustainability. Sustainability is one of the highest value pillars and activities that the association engages in. And everyone is aware of the Sustainability Council and certainly would like to recognize their impact under the leadership of Samantha Vade and Catherine Nolte Ferguson. But the association has invested also, as you probably know, in a senior staff position and other resources, and that's headed up by Kim Ionesco. And the overarching goal for sustainability for the SCAA has been to become the global leader in sustainability for business. And the sustainability function and council has done a really good job with content as well as the awards and recognizing leaders in sustainability in the industry. And in 2016, the sustainability function published 3 papers. And from a sustainability award standpoint, those will continue in 2017 in April in Seattle. But we've also added a business model award this year, which a number of us are very excited about. So we're continuing to push forward with the sustainability pillar with not just the SCAA, but also the Unified Association as well. And you'll be hearing a lot more exciting things about that as we move forward through 2017. Global outreach. The SCAA has continued to expand globally, and World Coffee Research, under the leadership of Dr. Tim Schilling and a number of other volunteers, Tracy Ging, Brett Smith, Lindsay Bolger, really too many to mention here, has really made a significant impact around the world in the research that it's doing to help promote, to grow and promote specialty coffee and the high quality coffees that we all treasure so much. World Coffee events, the RICO Symposium talks continue to expand and will continue even more so. And then last but certainly not least have been the ongoing discussions and meetings and all of the work to merge the Specialty Coffee Association of Europe with the American Association. We are very close to having that put together. I mentioned earlier that the first board meeting, the joint board meeting of the Unified Association, will take place next week. We expect the closing of that to occur either at that meeting or very shortly thereafter, and we're just so excited about the promise of the Unified Association, and really need to offer our entire membership, particularly those of you who took your time to be on this call today, for the support that you have offered. And I know that there are questions and there'll be challenges ahead, but it's very exciting for us to be opening the year 2017 as the Specialty Coffee Association, a global unified organization. So for more information on that, more details on that, I'm going to kick it back to Heather.
Thanks, Ben. So hopefully most of you guys have now been to the website, specialtycoffeeassociation.coffee, SCA.coffee. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out this site, it's still growing obviously, but it's got a ton of great information on there. And you know, the new website really kind of focuses on what this whole thing is about serving the members better, about having more events, more education. So some of the things that you're going to see in 2017, education is something that's at the heart of both organizations, and so you're going to see the two education systems merge into one, really taking the best of both worlds, and figuring out what really works for our members and how we can best serve them, and really coming out with an education system that everybody can really learn from, can take, and can really help take skills to the next level. Again, you know, the mission of the current organization to recognize, develop, and promote specialty coffee, and these education systems and putting one out there that really encompasses everything we're hoping to deliver is definitely one way that we're going to be able to do that. One of the other, I think the most exciting page on the new site is the events page. So if you haven't been there, it's an awesome page. If you just look at January, there's 8 events taking place all over the world. Vienna, Mexico, Knoxville, France and Italy, UC Davis and Greece. So it's just a very exciting kind of picture of where we're going in specialty coffee. Obviously, we've got the expo taking place in Seattle. We also have the World of Coffee taking place in Budapest. So a ton of amazing opportunities, new opportunities that you haven't necessarily had in the past or known about in the past to really engage with the new specialty, the growing specialty coffee community, and interact in hopefully an entirely new way. We're really excited about the expanding opportunities for roasters, barista, technicians, producers, and being able to just serve our members in a whole new way. And so again, if you haven't been to the site, SCA.coffee is the site to go to. You can check out the new logo and kind of the layout of the new site itself. So we're really excited about it and look forward to your feedback. And with that, I will hand it over to Rick.
Thank you, Heather, and thank you, Ben, and thank you for everybody who's been on this call and on this webinar. Just a couple of things. One is I want to express on behalf of the staff and the board of the organization what a pleasure it is to open 2017 doing business as the Specialty Coffee Association. As Heather pointed out, we've got a lot of exciting stuff already on the docket, and we're working very hard to make sure that we can deliver the high level of member value that we're committed to. So we've got lots of events, lots of educational opportunities, and lots of ways for volunteers to engage with the organization and to sort of maximize what they can get from their membership. So we're very excited about the future. We don't want to minimize the past. It's been a couple of great years for the organization. But most of all, we've got our sights set on an exciting future and a big year of bringing together all the activities, all the places that members engage, and all the ways that we hope to add value to the specialty coffee community as a combined organization doing business as Specialty Coffee Association. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the board members for all their work, their challenging work as volunteers over the last couple of years. It's been a tremendous amount of energy and effort and intellectual capacity that's been contributed by all of our board members. And most of all, I'd like to recognize the engaged volunteer members who bring so much life to our organization. And I want to be very clear that we will be looking for the continued high level of engagement from our volunteers as they help us move the organization forward to delivering member value to everybody engaged in our industry. And as a personal aside, thank you very much to the staff for all the hard work and support. I am told by that hardworking staff that if you are an Apple user, the question window may not be accessible to you. I'm told the PC users have no problem with that. My apologies for that. The webinar platform we're using, GoToWebinar, is designed to be a cross operating system platform, and this is a new rub for us. I don't want to deprive anybody of the opportunity to get questions asked and answered. So in the event you had a burning question and are an Apple user that could not access the question box, you can also direct questions to executive director at scaa.org, and we'll get those and get them right in there. It's a wait, although I can see in the chat window that Andrew Hetzel was able to get through on a Mac, so perhaps it's not just Mac users. Maybe it's an OS question. All right, but we do have a question that got through here, and we'll get that up. Bear with me for just a moment while we try to work through the technology of this. One of the problems of being an old PC user like I am is we're always a half a step behind the new Mac users. All right, we have a two-part question. Part one, this question comes to us from Zach Perkins. Is there any word on when an updated Coffee Cupper handbook will be available? Coffee Cupper's handbook will be available. That's part one, and I'll address that while I'm waiting for part two. Yeah, the Coffee Cupper's handbook is in its revision now. We've identified the lead author on that, and we've identified the steps to making the updates and adding new content. Obviously, there's a lot of new knowledge in the world since the last edition of the Coffee Cupper's Handbook, although we want to acknowledge the extraordinary work that Ted Lingle manifested in the original version and in subsequent edits. Much of that is still the basis for what the latest revisions will have. We're able to add pieces of new science about from both the sensory realm and from the analytical realm of what we know about the relationship between chemistry and taste. We're working very closely with our friends at World Coffee Research to bring that to bear, and we've got the latest round of research that we did jointly with our friends at UC Davis. So look for a new updated version of the Coffee Cupper's Handbook in about the midpoint of 2017, which will have the latest information that we've been able to glean from our research, and we're looking forward to not only having a highly accessible new volume, but one that's a living document that we can update regularly as new scientific evidence comes to us. The second part of the question was, is there any potential for a code of conduct for the overall association? And absolutely. I would start by referencing our code of conduct for participants in the organization's events, whether they happen in real space or whether they happen on the web. We've got a code of conduct that everyone must adopt in order to participate. It's a well-documented piece, and we've been executing against it by intent. The real objective of that is to make sure that we're all treating each other with the kind of care and consideration and thoughtfulness that we would like to be treated with. And we've worked hard to develop a clear and concise code of conduct, and I can assure you, enforce that code of conduct. So we've had, sadly, just a few occasions when we've had to, but I will tell you that you have a complete commitment from the staff and the leadership here to make sure that everybody can be safely engaged with us, that they can feel safe and they can feel secure, and that we are committed to maintaining an environment in which everybody is safe and secure to participate. I've got another question up here from Bill Kirchner. Would there be any new volunteer opportunities at the SCA? And the answer to that, of course, is a resounding yes. If you go to the new website to scaa.coffee, under events, there's a volunteer forum, and that's one of the most direct ways to get engaged as a volunteer, Bill. There are other ways to get engaged as a volunteer. Activities in our new structure will be focused around different pillars of activity, and each of those pillars will have its own unique access points to help be involved with the area of interest for you. And then, of course, at the events, at any of our events, is a great place to volunteer and a great way to meet other people in the community and get more deeply engaged with the organization. All right. So far, no other questions. Hopefully, we've touched on all the key points here. I do want to once again let you know that any follow-up questions we're happy to answer. You can direct those to executive director at scaa.org. And I, as always, am personally available. If you have questions or emails that you want to forward to me, you can reach me at ricr@sca.coffee. That's ricr@sca.coffee. Or for more general questions, you can reach us at membership@sca.coffee. We want to thank everybody who weighed in today, everybody who attended. We especially want to thank the board and staff for crafting the presentation, and I want to thank everybody who was engaged with us for all the hard work that goes into producing the success of our organization. And I want to tell you how very, very excited we are to move forward into the future together as the Specialty Coffee Association, taking on all the same challenges and all the same issues we've faced as a U.S.-based organization, to expand that into a more global stance and being able to provide value to members all over the world. There are just a couple more questions that rolled in, so we'll go ahead and grab those real quick. From Rafael Melendez. Will be there any programs directed to universities to get students involved? I'm not certain I've got a definitive answer to that, but we certainly have expanded our access to folks who are pursuing a career in coffee through educational channels. And one of the most exciting ones for us has been the development of the RICO's Fellowship Program that allows folks to participate with the RICO Symposium activity through the support of some of our member companies, most notably S&D Coffee has done a great job driving forward that activity. A number of the folks who qualified as RICO Fellows have been students, university students, most of them involved in undergraduate or some postgraduate programs around coffee. We've also got a question from Zach Perkins of when will competition schedules for Austin be out? We've asked our very own Laura about that, and she tells us that comp schedules will go out soon. We're finalizing right now. Here's a question from Devin Kretcher. Is there a rep for Starbucks partners to become more involved with SCAA, or is it more of an individual effort? Devin, I can tell you two things on that. One is that Andrew Linneman, who's vice president at Starbucks, is on our board of directors, and he's been doing a great job of trying to help provide that access. I might also add that June Ashley, who's part of the member, part of the associate team there at Starbucks, has done a great job of helping connect the dots. So if you are a current Starbucks partner, I'd start by looking at the Partner Services Group, and certainly June Ashley has been a key contact for us. Another question on here from Xander Percy. Where can we find information on a RICO Fellowship? You should be able to look at the RICO Symposium site and I know that there's been some postings on our Facebook page for this, but we will get a more direct answer out to you with all the specifics from the staff. All right, I'm going to see if any last questions have funneled in here. Well, thank you, Dana Coates. I want to once again just acknowledge everybody who joined us today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, and we look forward to having a chance to engage with you in the real space. Certainly, I can speak for the staff that we very much look forward to having a chance to interact with all of you. So without any further ado, I will bring this meeting to a conclusion, and it has been recorded, so if you know folks who should listen in, the recording will be available online, and I'm sure the communication staff will make access to that available through our normal channels. And hope to see all of you at some fantastic coffee event somewhere in the world, and if you do see me, please come up and say hi and introduce yourself. And I'd sure look forward to a chance to talk to you. Ben, Heather, thank you for leading this presentation today, and thank you as always for your tremendous hard work on the Board of Directors. And thank you to all of our Board of Directors who have consistently given of themselves, of their time, of their passion, of their intellectual capacity to make this organization a success, and we look forward to harnessing more of that energy in the future. Thanks, everybody, and good day.